Thanks for watching. I'm Margot Kinberg, and this is In the Spotlight, a closer look at a crime novel. The golden age of crime fiction had a profound impact on just about everything that would follow. It's still affecting the crime fiction people are writing today. So it's helpful to read some golden age fiction to understand it and understand the genre. Let's take a look at a golden age crime fiction novel today and turn the spotlight on John Rhodes' The House on Tollard Ridge. One morning, Superintendent King goes to his office in the small town of Glenhaven. No sooner does he arrive than he is alerted to a murder in the nearby village of Charlton Abbas. It seems that wealthy Samuel Barton was alone in his home, Tollard Ridge, when he was killed. King begins the investigation. From the beginning, the investigation is complicated. At first glance, it looks like a case of robbery and murder, but there are important clues to suggest that that's not the case. But that leads to its own difficulties. For one thing, Barton wasn't a miserly old tyrant. He was a widower, well-liked, who was generous to local charities. His two good friends, Kitty and John Hapgood, were part of his life for a long time and seemingly have no motive for murder. For another, Barton wasn't involved in any illegal activities and didn't have what used to be called dubious associates. Barton was eccentric, convinced that he could communicate with his dead wife Eileen through spiritual means, but he didn't raise people's hackles that way. And it's not just the motive that's a problem. There are several questions about how exactly the murder was committed, and the answers turn out to be complex. Still, the police find a suspect and arrest him. Dr. Lancelot Priestley, a well-known academic, hears of the case through the suspect's K.C. Neville Otterburn and takes an interest in it. In fact, Otterburn wants his input to provide the best defense possible. Now, Priestley and his secretary get involved in the investigation, and he works with King to find out the truth. They do find the answers, too, but not before there's another murder. So, what are the elements in this novel? How does it look like a Golden Age novel, and what keeps it going? Well, there's a strong element of psychology in this novel, both in terms of getting to know the characters' thinking and in terms of the murder itself. We learn about Barton's past as well as the pasts of some other characters who figure into the case. We also learn how psychology plays a role in what happened to Barton. That said, though, in the Golden Age tradition, we don't learn a lot about King or Priestley. The focus is on the suspects, their alibis, and things like times, dates, and so on. The story is a whodunit, but it's also a howdunit. So there's also a focus, and this is where Priestley comes in, on exactly how the murder was committed. It's not an impossible crime, but there are complex aspects to it. Priestley is able to work out exactly how it happened. Fans of Keigo Higashino's Professor Manabu Galileo Yukawa will notice some similarities between his involvement of cases and that of Dr. Priestley. This is, though, as I've been saying, a Golden Age novel. It was published in 1929. So there are some attitudes of the time, especially with regard to class. But they don't dominate the novel. There's a minimum of violence and no other explicitness. Interestingly, unlike some other Golden Age novels, there isn't a romance in this one, not even a budding romance. The story is told from a few different perspectives. King's is there, Priestley's is there, a couple of other ones. Third person, past tense. So the reader follows along to sort of see how the different characters view situations. The setting for the story is mostly the village of Charlton Abbas and also the town of Glenhaven, but the real setting is Tollard Ridge itself. It's an older house with creaks and squeaks, the sort of place people don't go if they don't have to, and its atmosphere is in keeping with the story. The House on Tollard Ridge is a Golden Age story of an unusual murder without an obvious motive. It features an eccentric victim who doesn't seem to have enemies, a village setting, and a professor who finds complex cases fascinating. This has been In the Spotlight. I'm Margot Kimberg. Thanks for watching.